For years it was shrouded in secrecy, then infamy, and after 48 hours of confusion and claims of a rebellion in Russia. Questions about the notorious Wagner Group and the intentions of its leader Yevgeny Prigozhin were still swirling Monday. The group has been a key piece of Russia's strategy in Ukraine, with Wagner forces being used to hold cities like Bakhmut. Prigozhin had sharply criticized Russian military leaders for weeks, calling the top brass incompetent, even traitorous. Tension between Russia's defense ministry and Wagner escalated dramatically Friday, when Prigozhin alleged that Russian forces had attacked Wagner camps in eastern Ukraine, killing dozens of his men. Late Friday, Prigozhin issued videotaped remarks that appeared to call for a rebellion against Russian military leadership, but he was characteristically vague in defining his plans. Wagner forces left Ukraine and marched into Russia Saturday, seizing control of the Russian military headquarters for the southern region in Rostov-on-Don, which oversees the fighting in Ukraine. What is the Wagner Group? Wagner is actually a group of entities that operate as a private military company, or PMC. These PMCs can be hired by governments for security or combat services. They aren't uncommon. The United States has used private military companies during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. However, there are differences between the commonly accepted definition of a PMC and Russia's version of the companies. Who is Yevgeny Prigozhin? As Wagner's publicity has grown, so has that of its shadowy founder, Prigozhin. His work running a catering company with Kremlin contracts earned him the nickname Putin's chef. But Prigozhin long denied any connection to the group before finally admitting to being its founder last year. Prigozhin openly and increasingly criticized Russia's top military commanders as the country failed to make significant gains in Ukraine. Meanwhile, he has positioned himself as a hero. Now, after seemingly squaring off against Putin in the brief weekend rebellion and being banished to Belarus, what's next for Prigozhin? Where else has Wagner worked and how does it make money? Wagner first popped up in Ukraine in 2014, when soldiers in unmarked uniforms appeared to help pro-Russian forces illegally annex territory for Russia. Before that, the group is believed to have been involved in supporting Russian forces in Syria. In 2022, the private army became a major part of Russia's invasion, even recruiting fighters from Russian prisons and promising them pardons to beef up numbers on the battlefield, though Prigozhin said in February that the practice would be stopped. In addition to deploying Wagner troops to Ukraine, the Wagner Group has been active in Africa, where some nations have turned to the private army to fill security gaps or prop up dictatorial regimes. In some countries, like the Central African Republic, Wagner exchanges services for almost unfettered access to natural resources. Where does the Wagner Group's name come from? The group's name appears to come from a man credited with co-founding it, Dmitry Yudkin, a former officer in Russia's military intelligence agency, the GIU. Yudkin retired from the Russian security services, but went on to serve as a senior military command for the Wagner Group, a role he is believed to still hold. A nationalist with Nazi sympathies, Yudkin's callsign in the Russian services was said to have been Wagner, a nod to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's love for the 19th century German composer of the same name. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Also, make sure to click the notification bell to be notified whenever we upload a new video. Once again, thank you for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you.